This video is brought to you by scdkeys.com. You need store credit to buy your games anyway, so why not get it for a bit cheaper? They've got PlayStation Network $50 credit codes, and after you use our special code with GC3, you'll be getting that for just $46.64. Also, if you're looking to buy games on your Nintendo Switch, they've also got Nintendo eShop codes for $45.59 after you use the code GC3. They've also got fantastic deals on PC software such as Windows 10 and Office 2019. Check out the links in the description box below to get great deals on everything I just mentioned. Now onto the video. In today's video, I'll be going over a great deal on an accessory that you can pick up for your PlayStation 4 that has become pretty much essential if you own an earlier model PlayStation 4 with less hard drive space. Also, Fallout 76's beta has kicked off today on the Xbox One, however, PlayStation 4 users will have to wait until next week. Now we have an idea on timing increments on when you can play the beta on the PlayStation 4. And speaking of Fallout 76, it looks like the game will be getting its own style of Battle Royale. It seems like every major title is going the Battle Royale route. I think Fallout can actually do some good with that formula, and considering it's only a small component of the game and not the entire game, this is something that I think is a fine inclusion. Also, Red Dead Redemption 2 has gotten its full map leaked online, and spoiler alert, it's massive. Also, Gearbox Software, the guys behind Borderlands and who we know are working on Borderlands 3, are working on another project, and it's said to be great for everyone. And lastly, Battlefield 5 is another game that's joining the Battle Royale wave, and more information on its Battle Royale component will be coming very soon. More on that at the end of this video. First, a 1TB external hard drive is on sale from Amazon for just $45. Now, a 1TB hard drive at the very least usually goes for $55 to $60, sometimes even $70. This is a portable external that you can just plug into your PlayStation 4 and you can download all your games onto it, so you're getting an extra terabyte of storage. You don't need to open up the PlayStation 4 or anything. It's just you plug it into your PlayStation 4 and it'll be good to go. You can install games directly on there, and this is so paramount to get something like this when we have games like Red Dead Redemption 2 that are going to be north of 100 gigabytes. Getting a 1TB hard drive is definitely a good idea if you're planning on buying a games and you want to keep all of your games installed at once. You really can't do that anymore if you have a launch PlayStation 4. Initially, it seemed like a 500 gigabyte hard drive would be perfectly fine, and to an extent, it is still fine if you're only keeping a couple games installed at a time. But if you have a big library of PlayStation 4 games, you should really expand that 500 gigabyte. Even if you have a 1TB hard drive in there, that is a little bit limiting at this point as well. So adding another terabyte for just $45, I think that is a great option, and we'll leave a link to that in the description box down below. I would say the majority of gamers need something like this at this point. Moving on from that, as I mentioned at the top, Fallout 76's Break It In early test application has kicked off today on the Xbox One. However, PlayStation 4 users won't be getting it until next week. Now, if you want to get access into the Fallout 76 beta, you will need to pre-order the game. That goes for any edition of the game, the Standard Edition, Transcendential Edition, or the Power Armor Collector's Edition. And then next week on October 30th, the beta will go live. Now, the beta is only going to be live for 4-hour increments, so it's not like it's going to go live on October 30th and you can play it for as long as you want, because it is essentially going to be the entirety of the game, and more so this beta is to work out any network issues and things like that. The Fallout 76 beta is a hefty 45 gigabytes, and here is what Bethesda writes in terms of progression from the beta. Quote, "This is an exciting new journey for Fallout and for us. The beta is a work-in-progress version of the game. During the beta, you will likely see a glorious array of issues, many we know about and many we don't. Our goal with your help is to identify and fix any issues that arise in preparation for the November 14th launch. We need all your suggestions and feedback during beta, at launch, and beyond to make Fallout 76 the best experience possible, now and for years to come." Now, of course, Fallout 76 is going to be a game with a ton of longevity. I do question the fact, based on that statement, if you're looking for issues with the game 2 weeks prior to its release, I wonder how many issues this game will continue to have on launch and past launch. Now, Bethesda games in general aren't the best in terms of technicals, especially when you look at their open world offerings, but now when you take an open world game like this, you add an online focus to it, I think there's a much bigger potential for a train wreck here than a lot of gamers are realizing. And considering the fact that a lot of gamers are yet to be sold on the game, I really hope that any major issues with the title are remedied before the official launch, and it does look like that's what Bethesda's going for. However, again, for the PlayStation 4 beta, they only have a 2-week window to get things working, so we'll see how that plays out. But again, the beta will be going live next week, and it'll be available in 4-hour increments. Speaking of Fallout 76, it is also getting a pseudo Battle Royale mode with the Hunter Hunted mode. Now, this mode takes everyone into a server, with a minimum of 4 players, and then it's survival of the fittest, who can kill who, as the world does have a smaller and smaller radius. So this is literally the Battle Royale formula. We don't know how many players this is going to be capped at. I would imagine the maximum of the server, but given the fact that it's only a small component of the game, I think this is something that Bethesda just want to throw in the game, just because every other major title is throwing in Battle Royale. The only other major title that isn't including Battle Royale at this point is Red Dead Redemption 2, and that game's online component hasn't been fully detailed at this point, so there might be a Battle Royale mode in that game as well. That's something I'll keep an eye on, but it does look like Fallout 76 will have it with the Hunter and Hunted mode. Moving on from that, of course, I just talked about Red Dead Redemption 2, and the release of that game is coming this Friday, and the entire map of Red Dead Redemption 2 has been leaked online. I won't post that here just for spoilers, but we do know that the entirety of Red Dead Redemption 1's map will be in the game except for Mexico, which doesn't seem to appear in the map. That's already something that's been rumored for quite a while. We already covered that a little bit ago. Do expect Red Dead Redemption 2 to be a massive game. While going back and playing Red Dead Redemption 1, yes, that was a very highly regarded game. It's not like that game's world was that gigantic, but do bear in mind that game released all the way back in 2010. When you look at the leaps that Rockstar made from GTA 4 to GTA 5, I would imagine a similar level of leap from Red Dead Redemption 1 to Red Dead Redemption 2, if not even more so. It looks to have around 60 hours of gameplay. That's what was said by Rockstar, and of course an online component will be coming sometime down the line, but for right after its release, you will have to be delved into the single player experience, but that should keep you busy for a very, very long time. Moving on from that, the guys behind Borderlands and Gearbox are obviously working on Borderlands 3. Borderlands 2 VR is coming later this year, but it looks like they are putting out another game. John Vignoshi, executive producer at Gearbox Publishing, tweeted out this, quote, "Big news, excited to announce I am joining the merry band of misfits at Gearbox Publishing. I'll be taking the reins as executive producer on a new tentpole franchise for the company. We will be working on something that we hope will surprise and delight gamers of all ages, whether you're 6 or 60, and I cannot wait to share more." So it does seem like Gearbox has another IP that they're working on outside of Borderlands 3. I think at this point, the majority of gamers just want to hear about Borderlands 3. It has been long overdue since we've gotten that game. Outside of Borderlands, they have put out some other projects in recent years, including Battleborn. That wasn't received all too well. We Happy Few was released earlier this year. Aliens Colonial Marines back in 2013. But gamers at this point identify Gearbox with Borderlands, so hopefully they can get back to that sooner rather than later. But outside of that, they have another IP in the works, and a new IP that's catered towards gamers of all ages. I'll be interested to see how that turns out. And lastly, Battlefield 5 is a game that's still a little bit of a mystery at this point. I really don't know how that game is going to do from a commercial standpoint. Of course, it was to be released already, then it got pushed back into November, which I think was a great delay. That game was set to be released in between Black Ops 4 and RDR 2, and that would have just been a train wreck. But Criterion Games, the guys that are working on Battlefield 5's Firestorm mode, the Battle Royale mode, tweeted out this: "We see all your questions, but there's nothing much we can talk about now on Firestorm. There's a lot of cool Battlefield 5 stuff to get excited about, and Super Community Manager Dan Mitra is the ultimate source for that, so do give him a follow." Mitra responded saying, "Can't wait to start talking about Firestorm. Everyone at the studio has been pouring their passion for Battlefield into the mode, and early playtests show that dedication. Our focus next week is Tides of War, so inherently we'll have an update on Firestorm then." Again, Firestorm is BF5's Battle Royale component. I just don't know how that's going to be received. I think people are enamored with Call of Duty's Blackout mode. Battlefield, in my opinion, would be a franchise that goes more hand in hand with Battle Royale, but the reception for BF has just been a little bit negative recently. So I think talking about Battle Royale at this point too much over just the main game being released, I think that would be received a little bit negatively, but I think there's a lot of work to be done for EA to turn the tide on Battlefield 5. I just don't see this game doing very well from a commercial standpoint, and I just think this game has been one of the biggest PR blunders this entire generation. Just going back to E3, when they only showed off a single player trailer instead of going deep into the multiplayer component, I thought that was a big mess up. And then just some of the stuff that EA has said about the community has left me really scratching my head, and I think they've turned off a lot of gamers to BF5. Who knows, I might be wrong, but usually when it comes to these commercial standpoints, I'm on the money, but we shall see in November.
Objective Able has been lost.
And that's gonna conclude this video. Again, we'll leave a link for a 1TB external hard drive in the description box down below. You can use that for your PS4. It's only $45. That's a great pickup. Fallout 76 beta will kick off on the PlayStation 4 next week. Hunter and Hunted is the game's battle royale mode. Red Dead Redemption 2's map has been leaked online and it's looking pretty massive. Gearbox Software, the guys that put out Borderlands, are working on a new IP, and Battlefield 5's battle royale mode and Firestorm will be getting some information soon. That's gonna conclude this video. Sound off with all of your thoughts in the comments section down below. Thank you for watching and goodbye.